Now, doing YouTube in Vietnam has its own set of challenges. The first one is the language. Luckily I learned Vietnamese by myself through YouTube. If not, then I have some difficulties when I go to provinces and do some videos because at the provinces and village, right, a very small percentage of people actually speak English and mostly they speak the Vietnamese. That's one of the reasons. But in Singapore, it's bilingual, right? You speak English and Chinese. If you are a local Singaporean doing YouTube in Singapore, you have no problem communicating with locals unless they use some dialects you are not comfortable with. Now, doing a YouTube in Singapore has its own set of challenges. With a small local audience, the population of Singapore is about 6 million only. So there are limited local viewers, which makes it harder to grow fast with only Singapore-only content. And so one option is to rely on regional or global audience, but the SEO and keyword title must suit the overseas international audience. And secondly, there are many creators in Singapore, so there are high competition, and most of them are tech reviewers, food vloggers, and lifestyle and finance YouTubers. So it's hard to stand out unless we have an unique anchor or preposition or kind of like stuff that we do other people cannot imitate. And then the next thing in Singapore, you all guys know, right? The cost of living is so high, and then if you every time you go out and film, right, the transport, bus, MRT, you eat the food, street food, and whatever maybe the wireless make DJI or Bolt, yeah, all this cost money. Every time go to take MRT, take a bus, one day can cost about $6 on the average. If you go far from like Clementi to Punggol by the Clementi, there's two-way trip. That's excluding the bus. But in Vietnam, right, you can take the Grab motorbike if you are not afraid of motorbike, and then it just costs like $1 to $2 per trip. If you go to two-way trip, go to one more and film and then come back, it's like two-way trip, right? So two-way trip, there's less than $4 a day. You just multiply by 30 days, and also the food there is much cheaper, maybe like 50% cost of Singapore. Like our how do I say, some local dish, right? Chicken rice here costs $6, over there costs $3 because they are like they are Singapore chefs who go to Vietnam and cook chicken rice over there. I tried before. But surprisingly, the overseas chicken rice tastes much better than the Singapore one. In Vietnam. And the next thing is Singapore audience prefer more safe content. They prefer something that's professional, some safe content. They don't really like the bold or controversial content, so it's harder to go viral. And then in Singapore, right, it's more like slower organic growth. You need a few years of consistency before you build a loyal audience. So there are also fewer viral trends. Now, talk about the challenges of doing YouTube in Vietnam is that number one, there are huge competition, but there's a bigger market population, about 100 million. That is like 16 or 17 times that of Singapore. Many creators that is too crowded and they speak in their local language, Vietnamese as well, and some speak in English. The trend change very fast. Secondly, is lower CPM or the ad revenue. If you are monetized channel already, right, means you reach 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours already, you get to earn money through the ad revenue from your long videos and from your shorts and for your live. So there are three options. They also have a super chat and other style membership, but in general, ads in Vietnam pay much less. So for example, the Singapore CPM, right, which is the cost per mile, it can be $4 to $12 depending on your niche, but in Vietnam it gives you like 50 cents to $2. That's really low, right? So you need very high views to earn well. And the next point is the trend-driven pressure, means that in Vietnam, right, the creators must constantly on the ball, follow challenger drama and other topics. If that's slow, right, views drop fast and other people may do the topic first. And the next point will be the risk of content copying by other creators, because popular ideas are copied quickly. It's hard to protect the originality. And next one is that platform dependence. Many creators in Vietnam rely on YouTube, Facebook, and TikTok. So algorithm changes will hit harder. So in comparison, Singapore market, the audience is small, but it's the CPM and whatever the money, right, the ad revenue is higher. But in Vietnam, the ad revenue is lower, but it's easier to grow the subs and easier to get monetize. But the competition is higher than that of Singapore because there are too many creators over there. Well, the cost of living is lower in Vietnam compared to Singapore, so you feel comfortable to film every day, one day server session, no problem. But the chance of going viral topics in Vietnam is higher than that of Singapore. So because I've experienced doing the filming in Vietnam as well as Singapore, right? So I just share my opinion. If you have like mm, any question or comment, can just drop me a comment in the comment section below. I'd like to hear you guys. You know, it's really hard. So I think the best strategy is the best of both worlds. Number one, you film in Singapore, which is have a high quality, film branding and premium feel. Number two, you target overseas viewers, international audience. Use titles like foreigner shot by Singapore housing or inside Singapore city of mall estate. And number three, use English but simple subtitles to reach the ASEAN and global audience. SEO, which is important for the discovery, is also important. So if you want a fast fame and recognition, you should go to Vietnam to do the YouTube. But you want a stable income here in Singapore, long-term branding Singapore with viral shots, you go to Vietnam. So I can say that, you know, there was previously I have a channel, right? I did the live, and then it's like about 2 to 3 hours of people watching, and that live session gave me close to 100 subs in just one session. But in Singapore, I can like do 2 to 3 hours of similar topic, right? But I don't get one sub. So you guys, you get the idea. Having said that, right? So it's more a challenge doing YouTube in Singapore. Anyway, end my video for now. If I have more ideas, I will share in my next video part 2. Thank you everyone, and thanks for watching. Bye.